You know, I just came to the realization that this show, while doing good so far, is missing something very important. A female subject. Sad, but true. But don't worry, we are going to change all of that right now. So, my name is Professor Larry Freed, and welcome back to yet another fantastic installment of The Greats. Yes, on my quest to find a female subject for the show, I found plenty of highly regarded actresses in our industry today. But, as they say, there can be only one, and they all pale in comparison to today's subject and my final selection. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Audrey Hepburn. Born on this day in 1929, Miss Hepburn was born in Belgium, with her father being an English insurance agent and her mother being a Dutch aristocrat. Unfortunately, life didn't really start off so smoothly. Her parents would divorce when she was 6, and Hepburn would be quoted later saying that this was easily the most traumatic event of her entire life. And surprisingly enough, that's saying quite a bit. Her uncle would be executed for his involvement in the resistance movement during World War II, leaving Hepburn even more severely traumatized. She would then suffer from severe malnutrition due to the Dutch famine in 1944, and the effects of this would eventually seize her planned career as a ballet dancer by 1948, a dream she would strive for throughout her entire childhood. Hepburn decided to abandon being a ballerina and pursued acting as a career instead. She began in musical theater for a number of years, primarily at West End in London. She would transition to American theater in the hit Broadway play Gigi in 1958, where she had a starring role. Then, in 1952, director William Wyler would notice her talents and later call upon her to star alongside Gregory Peck in 1953's Roman Holiday. Hepburn plays Princess Anne, a rebellious princess seeking a life past restrictions. One day, touring Rome, she finds herself sleeping on a public bench, awoken by Joe Bradley, a simple reporter. Cue hilarious hijinks and all that jazz. The film was a massive hit, and because Mr. Peck insisted that Hepburn received top billing for her admired performance, Roman Holiday, in Hepburn's own words, made her a star, and she won the 1953 Best Actress Oscar for the film to boot. After that, Hepburn's peak of stardom began, and throughout this 15-year period, she would star in some of the most iconic films of the 50s and 60s. And, of course, we cannot talk about Miss Hepburn without discussing her role as Holly Golightly in 1961's Breakfast at Tiffany's. Elegant, sophisticated, three-dimensional, those are just some of the words to describe Miss Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's, the simple story of the blossoming romance between an aspiring writer and a charming socialite in New York City. Hepburn's performance is easily one of the film's best aspects, with Miss Golightly being a truly deep, intricate character. The year 1989 would include Audrey Hepburn's final performance as an actress, and thus she decided to dedicate the rest of her life to assisting with UNICEF. Now granted, she did do some work in the 50s, but by the 90s, spreading awareness for starving children would begin to encapsulate her entire life. Her memories of loneliness and suffering back during World War II fueled her desire to assist children in similar positions. She would travel to South America, Europe, and even Asia on several missions with UNICEF, giving children water, food, and other better living conditions. Hepburn was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award for her contributions. By 1992, Hepburn had developed a rare form of cancer affecting the appendix. It was announced as untreatable, leading Hepburn to pass away on January 20th, 1993, in Switzerland, at the age of 63. As I was watching some of Miss Hepburn's performances, I found myself really enjoying her presence on screen. Something about the way she handled her characters was very classy, not to mention slick. But It's one thing to be slick and arrogant, in that kind of obnoxious character archetype, but it's a totally different thing to be slick and classy, but also really charming and very kind at heart. There's not really much more to say. I mean, it's her elegance, the way she talks the talk and walks the walk. Sometimes she's innocent, friendly, and lovable, and other times she's savvy, fun, and sexy. There aren't many actors or actresses who are that subtle about their layers in this day and age of bombastic, overdone characters. Audrey Hepburn is a breath of fresh air who was taken away far too young, even at 63. And so, as always, I propose a toast to Miss Audrey Hepburn, who was just crazy about Tiffany's. And then again, we were just crazy about you. Until next time, my name is Professor Larry Freed, reminding you to always strive for greatness.
Gotta love that Mancini Moon River, man. Such a beautiful song. Hi everyone, this is Larry. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Greats on Audrey Hepburn. Definitely an interesting change of pace as far as the show is concerned, but definitely a welcomed one at that. Just a reminder, we have a website. It's called rulethirds.com. You can check out plenty of awesome content on there. We got trailer reviews, written reviews, video reviews, this show. There are still other episodes of this show on the website. I don't know why they would have left, but yeah, everything's there for your enjoyment. My name's Larry Freed. Thank you so much for watching. Auf Wiedersehen.